The alleged sighting of strange creatures in the backyard of a Northwest Valley home.
What is it? I don't know. I don't know.
From the winged creatures soaring high in the sky to shadowy figures lurking in the woods, these unbelievable sightings have shocked the whole world. So stick around to see what happened when people captured mythical beings and left the whole world stunned. This man had no clue he would one day look up in the sky and see a giant mysterious bird flying high above. Yet it happened. It was a pterosaur, or something closely resembling it. Its massive wings and sharp silhouette along with prehistoric shape instantly brought to mind the flying reptiles of the distant past. Yet here it was, in live form, soaring in the sky. I'm guessing they had not gone extinct then, but what if it's an undiscovered species? The mystery continues. Real-life fairy. What if fairy tales weren't just stories? What if they were actually true and living right among us? This man saw a tiny creature on the ground while taking a walk through the woods. So, what did he do? He picked it up, and there it was. With a green body and beautiful pick wings, it looked like it belonged to Fairytopia. It flapped its wings and casually perched itself on the man's hand. No plans to move from there at all. Now some believe that it was not a fairy, but a Goliath stick insect? What do you think it was? Mythical dragon. This is exactly why some places are better left unexplored. A group of cavers in Mexico decided to explore a dark, remote tunnel, and what they found was straight out of a myth. At first, they thought they had spotted a salamander, but as it moved closer, they quickly realized it looked far more like a dragon from ancient legends. From another angle, it became clear this creature wasn't too thrilled about the attention. It charged at the men, chasing them out of the cave. They were more than happy to oblige and get out of there fast. But the real mystery remains. Why isn't anyone making a bigger fuss about this? If only we could track down that cave's location. Fawn the Goatman. A young man and his friend, curious yet scared, decided to check out strange noises coming from an abandoned house near their neighborhood. As they got closer, they saw something peering out of the window, its eyes glowing in the dark. They were scared but couldn't resist and went inside. That's when things took a turn. They realized something was chasing them. They ran out of the house, and just when they looked back, a Goatman was there, staring at them. They barely got away, scared out of their minds, and promised never to return. Pine squid. Well, I bet you guys have never heard of a pine squid. In the Amazon jungle, locals talk about this mysterious creature. And guess what? One of the locals came across it one day. It looks like something from the sea, but lives in the thick heat of the jungle. With shiny black skin, it was captured moving through the trees. Its long, tentacle-like limbs was wrapped around branches. People say it's more than just a weird animal. It's a mythical being, an omen of bad things to come. If you ever see it, you're considered marked for trouble, as if it's guarding something ancient and dangerous. It's a creature that scares anyone who crosses its path. Four-legged cryptid. One quiet night, dogs in the neighborhood started barking like crazy. The neighbors thought it was a thief, so they checked the CCTV footage the next day. To their surprise, it wasn't an animal or person, it was a cryptid walking down the street, scaring the dogs. They called the authorities, but nothing like that was ever seen again. It was probably a good thing no one went out to check, because who knows what could have happened. The mystery still remains. Dwarf Witch. A man entered into the woods one evening, drawn by rumors of a cursed spot. As he explored, he came across an old dwarf standing with a twisted stick, staring at him with cold eyes. Locals had warned him that the place was cursed because of a witch, but he wasn't going to leave without checking it out. And sure enough, he found something. Scared, he quickly turned and ran. Somehow, he escaped, but the creepy image of the dwarf stayed with him long after. Giant mysterious bird.
Where the hell did you find that thing?
This man was walking his dog when it got a whiff of something strange and went looking for the source. When the man caught up to his dog, he couldn't believe what he saw. There was his dog trotting over a bizarre, almost humanoid figure. It was long and had bony limbs. But the more strange was the fact how shrunken it was. It also had long hair with some kind of a headpiece. To me, it looked like a tiny elf king. It definitely looked otherworldly, that was for sure. Could it be the remains of a duende, or perhaps one of the mysterious little people? The debate still goes on.
Where the hell did you find that thing?
Real-life dragon. You thought dragons were the stuff of fantasies? Well, think again. Or better yet, maybe this video will change your mind. In an unbelievable twist of fate, a hiker caught what appeared to be a real dragon slithering along a rocky cliffside, blending seamlessly with the rugged terrain. The sleek scaled being weaved through the rocks with its long, sinuous body. Something straight of ancient myth-right, only it was so real that people started believing that dragons could really be more than fairy tales. Dwarf in the woods. Ever had a quiet walk in the woods, only for it to be turned into something unforgettable when a tiny humanoid figure is seen darting between the trees? Small but unmistakable, the figure appeared to move with purpose. Seemed like it was on a hunt for something. However, it vanished as soon as it appeared, leaving everyone guessing about its origins. Maybe it was the dwarf from folklore, making its presence known from the hidden world. Take a look and decide for yourself. Strange creature in trash can. After spotting something strange in the trash can, this dog took matters into its own hands and investigated, only for a creature to jump out and start running. It was clear this figure didn't want to get caught as it hid its face and ran for dear life, with the dog racing after it. While it looked goblin-like, it had unusually long legs though. So what could this strange creature be then? The mystery still remains unsolved, but one thing was clear. It's still out there. Chupacabra in a cage. Brace yourselves, because this next footage might just be the most thrilling yet. You may have heard of the Chupacabra, but have you ever seen one captured and locked up in a cage? With its black, lean body, the creature could be seen trying to get out of the cage. Now, do you really believe that this legendary goat sucker really existed? Or are you still as skeptical as ever? Drop your thoughts down below. Chupacabra. Emerging from the forest at the back, this man captured a mysterious creature walking around in the broad daylight. It was the notorious Chupacabra. Yep, the creature known for its blood-sucking habits. With a strange looping gait, it wandered here and there for a while, probably looking for its next prey. Whether it was the Chupacabra or not, one thing was clear. This footage left many uneasy knowing this creature was out there. Hodog. A hunter was out in the wild, expecting a normal day, but instead, he came across something downright chilling. There, grazing like it's just another day, standing a massive creature that looked like it walked out of a prehistoric horror movie. It had a frog-like head, a scaly lizard body, sharp horns sticking out, and fangs that look like they're ready to tear into anything that moves. That's not all, but when this footage hit the internet, people went crazy, calling it the Legendary Hodog. Ever heard of it? This Wisconsin folklore creature dates back to 1893, when a local prankster, Eugene Shepard, claimed he captured this terrifying beast. Could it be real, or just another tall tale? Either way, you won't forget the sight of it. Bon you! Now here's a creature that'll haunt your dreams. Yep, in a quiet little town in Indonesia, there was a lake that the locals swore was haunted by something monstrous. People talked about it for years, yet no one could really prove what they'd seen. But one brave man decided he would get answers. He brought a whole chicken to the lake and hid himself. Hours passed, and just when he thought nothing would happen, a beast was seen emerging from the lake. It was a massive, scary creature covered in black, thick fur. It seemed nothing but truly eerie. Its eyes scanned the area, and, as if satisfied, then it snatched the chicken in one swift move and disappeared back into the lake. The man was still in shock, thinking it was all true. He was certain this was the infamous lake beast, Banyu. Bakaneko. Ever heard of Bakaneko? It's a creepy, shape-shifting cat from Japanese folklore. They say that if a cat lives over 13 years, weighs more than 8 pounds, or has tri-colored fur, it could turn into a Bakaneko. And this isn't your average house cat. It can make ghostly fireballs, walk on 2 legs, and even try to replace its owner. So always keep an eye out. In May 2024, one guy in Japan got a huge shock. He came face to face with a creature that looked like a giant chicken, but had a cat's face, complete with horns, definitely giving off some demonic vibes. Somehow, he stayed close enough to see it walk on 2 legs. If you ask me, it was a Bakaneko for sure. Werewolf. Watching this encounter, I can't help but question what's real and what's not. Just check out this supposed real-life werewolf sighting. The creature looked like it had leapt straight from some dark folklore black fur, eyes glowing in the shadows. It started off crawling, low to the ground, but then it rose to its full height. I don't know about you guys, but I am totally convinced that it's a werewolf. Talking about netizens, some were sure it was the real deal, while others argued it had to be a prank. The online community quickly split, with each side passionately defending their view. What do you think? It's a fact or fiction? Nightjar. In Assam, Titabar, a mysterious bird caused quite a stir with its rare appearance. In September 2022, a truly rare sighting was documented when an endangered great-eared nightjar appeared in the area, leaving locals both awed and concerned. This bird is so rarely seen that any encounter feels almost spooky. The locals, showing incredible kindness, quickly stepped in to help the bird. They then contacted the Assam Forest Department, leading immediate conservation efforts. Yep, the forest authorities acted swiftly and devised a plan to safely release the bird into Kaziranga National Park, a well-known sanctuary for endangered wildlife. Thanks to their efforts, this rare bird found a safe haven. Fresno Nightcrawlers. A hiker's trail camera in Vietnam captured something truly bizarre. A pair of Fresno Nightcrawlers were wandering along the street. To be honest, these creepy figures looked like nothing I would expect. They were all legs, tall, thin, and ghostly, without any arms or heads in sight. Their pale glowing bodies drifted between the trees, lit only by a soft lantern glow. To me, it's almost like these things are from another world. Whether you believe it or not, this footage is enough to give anyone chills. After seeing these 2 strange, leggy figures, I can tell you one thing, I'm definitely not taking a nighttime stroll anytime soon. 3 a.m. horror.
What's this?
At 3 a.m., a woman was driving home when her camera picked up something seriously creepy. As she passed a quiet, dark street, she noticed a strange, human-like figure barely visible in the shadows. It just stood there, completely still, adding to the eerie feeling. Later, she checked the footage at work, and there it was again, standing there like it was watching her. The figure looked too real to be just a shadow. With the footage so clear, I can't help but wonder, could this really be a duende? An elf? Or maybe something even creepier. What do you think?
What's this?
Duende. How would you guys react if a creepy mythical creature suddenly took over your backyard? Well, a guy was standing on his rooftop enjoying some me time when his eyes caught a creepy creature sitting on his yard's tree. He quickly went down and chose to capture the creature from a distance. Watching the quality of this footage, I can say that it's a real encounter with something otherworldly. A duende, elf, or something far more creepy. The creature was standing motionless, creating a suspenseful and unsettling scene, and it stared at him, almost like he was the one invading its space. That was enough for him. He fled, and from that night on, he wouldn't even consider stepping outside after dark. Horned Devil. After seeing this, you might think the devil is real. A strange creature was caught on video lurking behind some branches near an electric antenna. The being seemed to have horns, but the person filming was sure it wasn't a goat or any other animal they recognized. The creature was just staring with an unsettling calm. To me, this looks more like a devil, or maybe even a faun of forest deity. Whatever it is, it's definitely not ordinary, and it's got everyone scratching their heads, trying to figure out what this eerie figure really is. 90s Chupacabra. In the late 90s, strange creatures were spotted frequently in North Carolina, but there was never any solid proof. That is, until recently, when a man uploaded an old video on social media showing a creature that resembled a chupacabra. He claimed that due to pressure from authorities at the time, he was never allowed to share the footage. Once the video went viral, people couldn't stop talking about it. Some believed all the reports from back then were just rumors, and the creature was simply a wild animal. Others, though, were convinced it was a chupacabra, and that the authorities had kept it under wraps all these years. Farmer's Shock. This clip left me completely speechless too. Let's watch it together and try to figure it out. A farmer in Brazil got the shock of a lifetime while digging his fields. He uncovered a massive creature that looked like an octopus. But here's the crazy part. It was found buried underground. Netizens started claiming it was a baby Cthulhu, hidden from our eyes for centuries. Personally, I think it's some long extinct monster that just woke up and decided to haunt everyone. The locals were even terrified and ran off. But after that, no one knows what happened next. Brazilian Crypted. In 2018, a cycling trip through a remote part of Brazil took a creepy turn when one of the cyclists spotted something strange near the bushes. It had a bald head and a face that looked eerily like a calf's. At first, they couldn't believe their eyes. Was it a chupacabra, a deformed capybara, or something even darker? Hoping to get answers, they posted the footage online. But even experts were stumped, suggesting it could be a failed science experiment or a bizarre hybrid. Umukadi. Can someone explain what's happening in this footage? It looks like a centipede straight out of another world. Honestly, it kind of reminds me of Umukade, the giant centipede from Japanese folklore. According to the legend, Umukade lives in mountains and caves, and it's known to be a fierce foe of dragons only defeated by divine powers. So if you happen to spot this creepy creature around, you might want to keep your distance and just walk away like you've got better things to do. The Glorp. At Tonopah Test Range, construction workers stumbled upon something truly bizarre in the sewers. They found a fish with sharp, pointed teeth and a freaky second mouth filled with human-like teeth. Definitely not the usual catch of the day. The sight was so spooky that everyone who saw it ran off in fear. But before they could get away, they managed to record the creature. And of course, the footage went viral. Now the online buzz is off the charts. Some are calling it the Glorp, while others believe it's the legendary Great Ohio Rizzler fish. Personally, I'm leaning toward this being a real sea monster. What do you think about this creepy discovery? Real Foghorn Leghorn. Now it's time to meet real-life Foghorn Leghorn. This chicken is so impressive that it could easily rule the barnyard. When the footage surfaced online, people went wild, calling it things like Cockzilla and Roostersaurus. And honestly, we cannot even blame them. I mean, look at the size of this bird. With its massive body and huge claws, it barely even looks like a chicken. I had to do a double take myself. But now that it's out there, everyone's fantasizing about having a BBQ with this giant bird as the main course. Brazilian Dogman. In a small town in Brazil, rumors of a dogman lurking in the nearby woods had everyone talking. A group of some daredevils decided to check it out for themselves. As they made their way through the forest, they heard rustling in the bushes. Shining their flashlight in that direction, they came face to face with the eerie creature. The dogman, dark and silent, stood there watching them, almost like it was waiting for the right moment to charge. But thankfully, nothing happened, and the group quickly made their way out of the woods. After that night, the creature was never seen again. Strange winged creature. A seemingly romantic moment turned into something sinister for this couple as they were taking selfies and ended up capturing something flying behind them. At first glance, it seemed like some sort of winged insect, but it was huge. And as soon as the couple noticed it, well, they ran after it, just so they could catch another glimpse of this elusive being. What could it be? A small dragon, perhaps, or some other rare, unknown creature? The footage raised more questions than answers, with everyone coming up with their own theories, of course. But tell us what you think down below. Nightcrawler. While waiting for the stoplight at night, this man ended up capturing something truly terrifying. As the cars waited for the light to turn green, there came a Nightcrawler crossing the road, not caring that there was a whole audience to witness it. Its smooth, eerie gait and almost ghost-like appearance left everyone stunned. That was bound to happen. I mean, how often do you see a live Nightcrawler casually moving in the middle of the road, no less? Dragon Baby. A chilling sight has captured a strange creature that seemed straight out of legend. It was a baby, that's for sure. But what kind? That was up for debate. A mix between a dragon and a bat, with its leathery body and a scaly texture. It had successfully divided the internet. Its distinct reptilian structure made it quite hard to classify. Was this an ancient creature reborn, or was it just a bizarre mutation? Tell us what you think. Direwolf sighting. This next terrifying encounter unfolded in the heart of the woods when a hiker spotted a dog playing with a creature thought to have gone extinct long ago. A dire wolf. Yep, this dog was being chased relentlessly by a massive, jet-black creature. It was larger than anything with a quite dark aura, yet it chased the dog quite playfully. The dog kept racing around with a dire wolf on its tail. Now some believe it to be a rare cryptid, while there are others who claim it was just an overgrown predator, nothing more. Strange interdimensional creature. A woman was seen talking to a reporter maybe. Nothing strange, right? That is until you notice what's happening behind her. A strange creature can be seen walking behind her, its shadowy form barely captured by the camera. It was unlike anything seen before, like some sort of an interdimensional being, its unsettling and shifting form being the most distinctive feature. Could there be some sort of a glitch happening in the Matrix? Or was this being captured in our reality? Or maybe it was just a hoax. So many possibilities, and no answers. Cthulhu Sighting. In a jaw-dropping moment, A creature that closely resembled the legendary Cthulhu was captured on camera. Don't believe us? See for yourselves. There behind the thick, dense fog, lurking eerily in the water, was the dark form of Cthulhu. Its almost black shape emerged from the mist as if in search of something, or maybe just revealing itself to the world, because it shifted and moved as it was aware of being filmed. This mysterious sight, of course, sent chills down everyone's spine. Knowing such a creature existed, well, that won't help me sleep at night now. What about you? Troll in abandoned cave. While exploring a dark cave, with only the flashlight guiding him, this man had no idea he was about to come face to face with his worst nightmare. There in the dark stood a big, hairy figure. But that real terror began when that figure started coming towards the guy as it registered it had been spotted. Its growls get louder with each step. This wasn't just any folklore. It was as real as it could get. So, do you really think trolls are still stuff of the Harry Potter universe? Or did this video make you believe otherwise? Legendary serpent-like creature. A local discovery has stunned locals and mystics alike. In the middle of nowhere, in South Africa, these guys were goofing around when all of a sudden they saw something big on the ground. But a closer look revealed it to be a terrifying sight. It was the infamous Inkanyamba, lifeless on the ground, its grayish body on full display, along with the distinctive tail and wings. But the strange part was its mouth, that seemed to be half opened, as if in a silent scream. Its sharp, pointy teeth were all visible. How this creature from Zulu and Xhosa folklore met its unfortunate demise, no one knows. But if something could this creature down, how scary would it be then, right? That's what I'm thinking. Rake on abandoned house. Late at night, in the pitch-black shadows of a crumbling, abandoned house, a group of urban explorers stumbled across something terrifying. As their flashlights cut through the darkness, they caught sight of a pale, humanoid creature lurking on the rooftop, its eyes glowing in the dark. Could it be the Rake? It definitely looked like the legendary creature known for stalking the night and preying on the unsuspecting. The scary part? It kept moving around on the roof, like it was playing with these guys, just like a hunter plays with their prey, before devouring it whole. Hopefully these guys made it out okay, as the video ended abruptly. Terrifying encounter. As this guy was walking down a trail cutting through the middle of woods, his path suddenly got blocked by a dark figure. He initially thought it to be a black dog or bear, only that wasn't the case. It was jet black and had horns on its head as it crouched in the middle of the road. But then it turned, slowly, and seemed to be getting up. But the video ended there. Looked like he saw him checking it out and planned to give him the full disclosure. Let's hope this guy ran to safety before this creature got to him. Remember not to take this trail, as who knows, it might be still out there. Real life Naga. A creature straight out of myth had been recently spotted in the middle of the woods. A half-man and half-snake-like creature, as it stood eerily with a dense forest all around it. Its strange characteristics were distinctive to the legendary chimera. Witnesses claimed a dark, meaning aura radiated from this figure, sending chills down his spine. Could this sighting really be a modern-day manifestation of a mythical beast, like the Naga from the Hindu mythology, or the Bakunawa from the Philippines folklore? Tell us your theories down below. Hidden Sasquatch.
By scrolling through the 3 photographs in sequence, you can clearly see that the middle photograph has something that the other 2 do not.
Incredible footage captured by a hidden trail camera sent the internet into a frenzy. Could this be another clearest proof of the elusive Sasquatch in action? Let's find out. The video showed how the creature was visible in only one of the frames, as it stealthily crept through the dense forest, aiming for the unsuspecting deer, I'm guessing. With the way it moved, it was clear this creature was well adapted to the wild. Seemed this had been its home for quite some time, but now it was caught on camera. Whoever planned to go after it, they gotta be careful. This thing won't go down easy, that's for sure.
Right away is look how much broader your shoulders are to the original figure.
Pegasus caught in action. In the midst of the raging storm, as lightning lit up the sky, this guy was recording the dark atmosphere, when all of a sudden, a figure appeared in the sky, and he could not believe what he was seeing. A Pegasus. Yep, the mythical winged horse soaring through the clouds, its wings beating powerfully through the turbulent air. Now my theory is that this mythical being was using the storm as a cover to take a ride, you know. Too bad it didn't know it got caught. Should have been more careful, Pegasus. Was this really the winged horse, or just another trick being played? You tell us. Skunk Ape sighting. A recent sighting of another elusive being taken in Everglades had been making rounds on the internet, capturing attention with its all-too-real encounter in the Florida wilderness. Known as the southern cousin of Bigfoot, the skunk ape was rumored to haunt the swamps. It was often described as an ape-like figure with a really foul odor and glowing eyes. Well, it lived in swamps. What more could one expect, right? Was this the undeniable proof of this smelly being, or could this be something else? And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. In 2013, these guys were hiking through the woods when they came across a weird little creature on a branch. Now they thought it was an unusual insect at first, only to get the shock of a lifetime when with a tiny body and delicate wings, this thing took flight, revealing its magical green wings. And the real surprise came when the man managed to catch the fairy and uploaded a closer look. So if you ever wondered what a real fairy looked like, this might just be the closest thing. Of course, the fairy enthusiasts want it to be the real thing, but there are a few skeptics who claim it might just be a new insect species. Which side are you on? See you later!